What's up, everybody? I apologize for being late. I was in my own class. I'm learning features, and I had orientation tonight, so I apologize for being late. But I'm not going to hold y'all long. But I do have some information that I want to get out to you all because I'm seeing everybody from the postman to the man on the corner store talking about they trying to get into SpaceX. So I just wanted to set some standards and give y'all some information on whether this will be a good investment, why you should or should not invest, and what you should anticipate when it comes to investing. Sorry, I said StockX. I meant SpaceX. But let me know where y'all are checking in from, city and state. Drop it in the chat. Let me know, do you plan to invest in SpaceX immediately once it IPOs on Friday, or are you going to wait? But again, the show shows you this most anticipated IPO right now is SpaceX. I wanted to give y'all a little bit more information because a lot of people just don't know. Just the background is just going off what they've heard, and people are just hyping it up. So let's get into a little bit of information on SpaceX, what it encompasses, what you can look for when it comes to IPOs, IPO lockup periods. Let's just get more educated on it altogether. So first, I want to start off by using Nerd Wallet. A lot of people want to know, when is the IPO? How much is the cost? So again, I want to share my screen so y'all can see I'm not making up any of the information. It's all being pulled from sources that we can go and research ourselves. You don't have to go into Chat GPT and use water. Go to your regular Google to get a lot of this information. So on Friday, you're going to be able to start investing. They're saying we're going to be able to get in at 135, but the share price can shoot up. So have enough capital to kind of have a cushion of up to $200 because that amount of the share price, once your broker allows you to get in, can vary. Now they say they've raised $75 billion in IPO revenue and market cap of 1.75 trillion. A lot of that is neither here nor there because of valuation on a company. If you are familiar with watching Shark Tank, valuations can vary. They're not based on actual numbers, but their anticipation. So, not really what they've done now. And I'm going to break down the companies or the different sectors that are going to be inside of SpaceX or the different companies that are inside of there on how they're coming up with that valuation number. A lot of people are not looking at those details, and why? Because they know is Elon Musk. All they know this is the next big thing, and people are want to get into it. If you don't already have a broker, I'm going to show you how to get free money to get the shares of SpaceX or invest in any company. So right now, you will be allowed to get the shares on Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood, SoFi, and E-Trade. Your easiest two to get access to are going to be Robinhood because it's free. And the one that I'm promoting right now is SoFi. I would be promoting Acorns. I gave away my $1,400 8-week mentorship for free because my clients signed up for Acorns. They put $5 in it, opening up an account, and I was able to get $1,400 from that. Easy money. I showed everybody earlier. You can go back to my Facebook page. I got my $1,400. I withdrew 1,200, so I'm getting my SpaceX shares for free. But if you missed out on that because right now Acorns is not having it special, they do have a promo with SoFi. So if you've never had a SoFi account, you're a brand new member, you qualify to receive a bonus. So if you got $50, put your $50 inside of that SoFi account, and they're going to give you 25. You sign up, more people. Everybody you sign up, you get $75. And so I wanted you guys to be able to see that because people are like, oh, that's not real. It never happens. People don't receive those payouts. Yes, they do. I'm one of them. I've done it. I need to send one more payout to my screen so that you all can see it and show my application for approval. Where's my email? I thought I had sent all of this to myself so that you all can see it. Let me go look. Ah, technology. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the SoFi email. Boom. Got to get y'all my confirmation and let y'all see my application has been approved. Get into these shares. So let me hop into my Facebook. Too much popped up. There we go. Where's my name to myself? Here we go. So if y'all missed the The preview, here's my money. My money was in my account. I had 5 people who qualified. So 2026, I got my payouts. I had 5 people who qualified. I got my bread. It was processed. It said it wouldn't land till Wednesday. I got that money Thursday or Friday of last week. So it doesn't take you long to get that money back as well. So you can see my withdrawal. Everything was approved. Let me go back. It went too far. Where's the? I think it's this way. Here we go. So again, if you haven't signed up for SoFi before, the money is real. You're 2 referrals away from extra $75. So they've already letting me know I'm getting my first 75. So that's half of my SpaceX shares right there if I want to use this amount. So 2 more people sign up. The link to SoFi is in my comments. Again, free money. You put the $50 in there. You get immediately access back to it. They're gonna give you an additional 25. Sign up your wife, your spouse, your boyfriend. Now you got free money to buy your shares with. I appreciate y'all for dropping where y'all are coming in from, Long Island. SpaceX IPO is shaping up to be the biggest rug type pull we've seen in modern history. We're going to touch on that, and I'm glad you talked about it, Stephen. We're definitely going to touch on that. I definitely think it's a rug pull, so that's why I want to set y'all up for success by knowing what to do and how to manage an IPO portfolio. I think this is going to be the next AMC and GME play, where people just were like, everybody's hyping it up, everybody's in their diamond hands, and they're gonna get caught holding the bag. And I'm gonna show y'all a couple of IPOs to show y'all how that plays out, because you need to be able to see it. And I don't want y'all to get caught holding the bag. I want y'all to be profitable, but you need to understand there are lockup periods. You're not going to be able to just immediately sell if this shoots up to 200, 300, or there are going to be fees in place. So we need to know what we can do. Connecticut, not investing in the IPO, prefer to wait for the month to let the price action develop. I'm interested in your thoughts on SoFi. Awesome. Thank you, MG. We're here. So we're going to break it down and go over it. I thought I could sign in, but I just want to read a blurb of when you do. Let me see if I can pull it up. Y'all are not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to be able to read it to you from my side. Now I don't see it, but there is a fee. So if you decide, okay, I'm going to get into the IPO. When you start to sign up, SoFi is going to tell you what the disclaimer. I'm going to read it word for word. While you are free to sell securities obtained during an IPO whenever you deem appropriate, selling IPO shares acquired during the IPO process within 120 days, write that down and put that in your notes. Within 120 days of the IPO may result in a transaction fees. These transaction fees are intended to reasonably correlate to any penalty, be it cost, that may be imposed on us by underwriting syndicates. Penalty, be it cost, may be imposed on us by the underwriting syndicate if our customers sell shares of the insured shortly after purchase. If you sell IPO shares acquired in the primary offering within 120 days, that lockup period of the IPO, it may result in a $50 fee on the first sale and a $5 fee for every additional sale, and also impact your ability to participate in future IPO offerings. So this is not your get rich quick. They are looking for investors. So if that's something you want to do, be mindful of the penalty that you may incur in those fees when it comes to selling. Now, what do I feel about the IPO? Do I think it's profitable? To some extent, and we're going to walk through it, because you need to know, one, what is SpaceX? So SpaceX primary subsidiary. So again, this is kind of like a bundle, like our ETF. It's going to encompass other companies. The main one, and 61% of it in the revenue, is going to come from Starlink. Now, Starlink is legit. It's satellite internet. I've seen people have rave reviews about using the satellite service. I've even thought about investing in it and using it in my home. But there are some drawbacks. I have noticed that people who work from home are not able to use Starlink or satellite internet. Those providers or those employers want you to be tied into an Ethernet so you can have best productivity. It's not down if it's raining or storming, that you're going to be able to work. So they would prefer you be tied into Ethernet. But Starlink itself is a good company, and they have revenue. So that's the biggest thing. Can SpaceX be profitable? What does this valuation really say and mean for the company? And is it kind of fabricated? Let's break down the other two. So Starlink, what is the value? What is the revenue? So they're saying it is expected. SpaceX is expected to generate like $71 trillion or whatever, more than our own like economy right now. But we're gonna break it down. I think it's a lot of fluff just to get people in, but let's break it down. Star Shield. Let me go through each one. Star Shield, National Security and Defense Network. Okay, the Elon's been at the government, so I'm not surprised by that. Swarm Technology, Internet of Things connectivity. What does that mean? There's more AI in the space. Pioneer Aerospace and parachute manufacturing. Like, how many people are investing in parachute manufacturing? How many people want parachutes? How many people are actually jumping out of planes? So this almost makes me feel like when you go buy something at the store and you have your main ingredient, like when you go look at your vitamins and you turn it over and they give you a couple of percent of the main vitamins, and then there's a bunch of filler. So our main thing in SpaceX is Starlink, and then we got these other fillers in here. Not to say that they are not profitable, but they have generated some revenue. So Starshield is expected again. Remember those keywords of what they have generated, what they intend to generate, and then what's expected, because those are, again, I can sell you a fake dream and be like, hey, give me $100. I plan to generate $10,000. Hey, I'm planning to generate it. It hasn't happened. So be mindful of the word and the language that comes out in the products. So generate approximately 3.2 billion in revenue because they're a legit company. They sell products. Um, the device is great for them when it comes to Starlink, Star Shield. We're gonna see. So military satellite constellation. So we got revenue. Comes to swarm technology. So not so much Internet of Things, startup, satellite startup. So again, in the beginning phase, most IPOs they go public because they need money. So they're going to IPO. So this is a range of 1.5 million, 4.5. Again, I know traders that make that much, so there's not a lot coming from a company to produce revenue. Last one, Pioneer Aerospace Corporation, generated as an estimated annual revenue of between 8 million and 20 million. So these are profitable companies inside of here, but this is all in anticipation of what's to come. So when we think about that, you have to think about the lockup period. And I want to show you some examples of companies that have failed after their lockup period. One of the websites I'm using to show y'all information on, which is NerdWallet. I knew this company would fail and not do well because NerdWallet was a free site. So I was wondering, how are they going to create revenue? How are they going to get money from people because their subscription of their website is already free? How do they bring in buyers? Are they going to sell data? Are they going to sell marketing or ad space? They needed to find some way to create revenue, and they still have not. You can see month over month, this thing IPO shot up. Anybody who got in over $30, they have not seen a profit. This thing has not gotten back up there, and it probably never will. They're just bag holders. So again, after that lockup period, those first 3 months, what happened? Sales off. This is what happens when they're not a super profitable company. They don't have a clear product or service or solution base for the company. That's one of the fears that I have when it comes to SpaceX itself. Is it going to run on hype or will it actually create revenue? And Tesla was in this space. Tesla was just on the anticipation of these EV vehicles, and they hadn't delivered any vehicles yet. It was just all on, we have pre-orders, and then the cars got released, and we saw that Tesla kind of flatten out and then started to pick back up, and now it's in kind of residual state. I'm also looking at, if I don't invest in SpaceX, I will probably go in, and none of this is not financial. This is all of my opinion based off trading previously, but this is not financial advice. Let me say that it's all for education, entertainment purposes. Do with it what you will. But when it came to Tesla, I'm kind of in a short Tesla because I believe Elon is going to pull money out of Tesla to fuel SpaceX. So we can short Tesla, do the run up. Let's just trade options because they're going to force this into the S&P. We can just trade options on SpaceX. I don't have to be invested in it as far as shares. What do y'all think about that? Let me see. I missed some comments in here, so let me grab those. Starlink does have the heavy lifting for SpaceX. The other two companies lose money, essentially XAI. Absolutely. Parachute manufacturing refers to space shuttles and the satellite chute, not jumping out of planes. Pressures. Thank you for explaining, because I'm just like, Mike, somebody please tell me what is this related to and how is this going to make money? And is there a large revenue space for it? Again, we're learning as we go. I'm just about now hearing about the companies that are going to be inside of SpaceX. I really didn't know what it was encompassing. And again, I feel like it's a money laundering scheme. They're going to run this up, do a pump fake, and rug pull, and people are going to be heavily invested, waiting on some guru or somebody to tell them to sell. And when no one tells them to sell, they're going to be caught holding the bag. I'm interested also to look at how influencers and content creators are they going to flood the market with content creators saying, hey, go buy SpaceX? Have you gotten your shares of SpaceX? Are we going to see this all over TikTok and IG, Facebook, and all of those things? Are they going to pay for that advertisement? Because I've seen it before in other things. Anytime they want to hype it up, they start out with a few creators. They do the TikTok dances. They're going to have this backing and get this following behind him. So we've looked at NerdWallet. I want y'all also to look at Lemonade. And Lemonade, I believe, is an insurance company. Anybody who got in the Lemonade IPO ran, okay, we got it's open $43. And I know some investors and very seasoned traders, they got out of here. They were not buying up here. And then I saw people getting in. They're like, I missed out and it's still running. Let me get in up here. Now, Lemonade was one of those rarities. Right after the IPO and stuff, it did pull back and still took off. So people who held were great. But if you did not hold, you sold once it sold off, weren't doing well. And that's because people come into the market as a trader and not an investor. They're not having an exit plan. So they're just like, oh, I'm gonna just buy and hold. I got diamond hands. But if I'm holding a stock, I need to have some kind of plan for it. Do I plan to pass it on to my kids? Do I plan to buy and sell once I get 50% or 100% return? Do I plan to just get my initial investment out and hold? Those are questions they never ask because the people who are teaching them or showing it to them are not answering those questions or asking them either. They're just saying, "Hey, hold it, just hold it till it goes up. We're gonna be mega rich. Put $10,000 over here, or cash out your 401ks. Put it all over here, and this is what's gonna make it work." And I would hate for people to be blind to that. And I hate that people are missing this show because they're missing out on information that a lot of people are not talking about, a lot of people are not addressing, and they really don't understand IPOs. Again, why do companies go public? Why do they are IPOs, and why do companies stay private? Companies like Chick-fil-A, they're private. One of the main reasons why, because they have strong religious views. They don't want to be open on Sunday, strong views around birth control. And that's one of the first things investors, or even if I came in a new CEO, hey, y'all gonna be open on Sunday. Y'all gonna serve their religious chicken on Sunday. Get them chicken sandwiches out on Sunday. Why? Because there are other competitors. That is, Sunday is a day for any other company, Raising Cane's, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, anybody else that sells a chicken sandwich, they're making money in that revenue on Sunday because Chick-fil-A is not open to capture that revenue. So again, they stay private. Companies become public because they need money. Raising Cane's is private. They want to keep their equity inside the company. Chick-fil-A is private. They want to run their own business. They don't need other people's money. But most companies that want to raise capital and get money and need financing, they go public. So that's what we have to pay attention. Understand why companies actually go public. What we got here? What I'm missing? I went to SPX. Okay, hey, I went to SPX this last hour in 23 and up with $20. SPX is true. It definitely is. That's why I keep trying to put people on SPX. It's not for everybody, but those that can take advantage of it can make a lot of money. I posted one of my plays on Facebook to give away a free one-on-one. I showed people my trade. I'll show you guys the trade I actually took, and I'm taking bets on who's gonna get it. Who's going to get the extra answer on how long was I in the play? So here's my XPX play, 73.80. We did drop down. I think it got down to 73.88. We'll pull up SPX to see what was the low of the day. But a $45 contract up to $155, a 244% trade on the day. Again, if you're taking 5, 10 of these contracts, you're making good money. And I love to see it. This is why I teach people how to use SPX to leverage. Again, I knew SPY would drop and it was filling a gap, but SPY was taking too long. And I'm like, it's zero DTE power hour. Let me just go on and hop into SPX and I can 10 times my money. I can get way more for it. So SPX is a banger. Investor Chaz said Sunday chicken. Yeah, absolutely. Again, you got to think about, take your consumer hat off when you're thinking about investing and put your investor hat on. When I look at companies, I'm not looking at what's going to be good for me as a consumer. I look at it as what would be good for a business standpoint. If I see a business and they close down, let's say 20 or 30 restaurants, and we're sad as a consumer, oh, I won't be able to go to that location, and people are losing their jobs. But as a business standpoint, I see, okay, that's no rent that we have to pay. Those employees we don't have to pay. And we're reserving capital. And we all our thing, all we're doing as traders, as investors, are being capital managers. And as a business standpoint, that's a good capital reserve. We don't have to pay those people. We don't have to lose that revenue, especially if the business or those locations are already losing money. So we have to change our hats. And I'm sorry y'all haven't been able to see the comments. I didn't have it turned on. I apologize. Um, but you have to put on your investor hat and start creating plans behind what to do as an investor in these companies. We have other companies. Let me see if I can think of one more. Pop and drop companies. Let's look at COVID. Those COVID plays. Zoom. I use Zoom daily to conduct business. Zoom got out here, and what was that? I can't see. April of 2019, $60. Everything went to COVID, so we are all over Zoom. This thing got up to $600, and people are just holding the bag because what? They never had a contingency plan to sell. You got to have a plan to be able to get out the play. And you can see Zoom has been in consolidation for a long time. How do they get more people to pay? They actually got me to pay. I think I was getting 1 hour Zooms or 45-minute Zooms free, and then they dropped it down, so just like 30 minutes or so, or a couple of minutes. I was like, oh, that's kind of ghetto. I gotta pay now so I can keep my business going, so I can keep meeting with clients, and I tell them, hey, you gotta hop off in a minute. I'll send you a new Zoom link. So understanding how business works, they knew they could push people into buying this, but this also created another area for people to create in this space. You got Google Meet, you Discord, you had what's the other one? There's one more that you can communicate on and do Zoom meetings in, but we got Google Meet. You had all these other resources and other avenues, and now we have AI. People can build their own kind of Zoom functionality. So Zoom is not just the monopoly now. Let me look at another one that IPO. Oh, Kava. I wanted to short Kava so bad, but Kava was just so good. I was like, they're coming in, they're trying to compete with Chipotle. And I wanted to short this, and you can see they IPO'd at about June, and they were already up in July. We had some pullback in October, but the chain wasn't good enough for me to short it here. And every time I was about ready to short, it was ready to shoot back up. Every time I'm ready to short, it's shooting back up. So a lot of times we have some ideas about shorting a company, and it's just not playing out. You got to play what you see and what you see on the chart. And this IPO was good. Kava has been very competitive. They came into the market when Chipotle was taking a big hit from their fitness community. People were saying that, one, they were having poor customer service. They have a high turnaround rate with the people who work there. And also they were shorting people. They were just like, hey, I'm here to get my calories in. I'm having to pay for double scoops of meat because y'all are skimping. So they came in at a good time to capitalize off of Chipotle. And Chipotle did a cut. They did a split. Sorry, not a cut. They did a split, and you can see they just have not been what they used to be. This was trading, I mean, beyond crazy numbers. and now they have an ATR 1.8 and trading super low. You can see we just left Cabo. Again, in comparison, a company that's only been around a few months and a company that's been around for years now, there's Chipotle is trading, shares are trading much lower than Cabo right now. So again, knowing the competition in comparison is phenomenal when you start putting on your investor hat and seeing where the market is going. So again, I wanted you guys to see how you can get your free shares in the description. I have that SoFi link there. Put you $50 to the side, open up your account. You'll be able to utilize that $50 immediately. And then they're going to give you a $25 bonus. Then go, like I said, sign up your kid, your mom and your dad. There's your 3 signups. You get an additional $75. And now you got a little bit of money to invest in the shares and not have to put your own money into it. So again, I'm always going to keep coming to show y'all different ways on how you can make money, how you can do it for free. And if I see something, again, I want y'all to be able to learn and understand it. Again, the valuation on SpaceX is pretty extreme. They're getting to bypass um, getting into the S&P. So, it's kind of sneaky. You have to wonder, like, why are they doing this? They want to take retail to take the bait. They're already opening up margin where at first you couldn't trade margin unless you had $25,000. They want people to overextend themselves with margin. So they've dropped it down to 2 strategically right before this IPO. And I believe the market pulled back just to have some cushion into the market running up on Friday due to this IPO. Markets are going to be bullish. People are going to be excited, and people are going to be in the market spending money. Again, I'm seeing people who've never heard of stocks, who've never thought about investing, talking about they buying SpaceX. And I'm like, why? And they're like, man, that's the thing. That's the thing to get into. It's time to, buy SpaceX. And I'm like, well, what do you know? Like, oh, it's Elon Musk and it's going to be the next Tesla and it's running up. And they're just going based off things that they've heard, not really doing any research to even know what's the backing. Again, take it as you're being one of the sharks at Shark Tank, and Elon Musk is coming in front of you and saying, "Hey, invest in my company, SpaceX." I have notoriety, I have popularity, and I believe this is going to be great. So buy it. That's pretty much all they're telling you. When the normies into the financial markets, I know I need to short everything. That is the key. I want to leave that one up. When you have normal everyday people, when you have people who've never invested, who every time they've seen you trade, they never ask a question, they never comment, they never do anything, and they're in it. Yeah, it's time for us to short it all. It's gonna run up, but I'm just ready for my puts. I'm never usually too biased, but a company has to work. Like, you have to work to climb up a mountain. It takes work. You're going to a different altitude, a different elevation. But to come back down that mountain and to fail, it's easy for you to fail. You can just do everything. You can do everything right and fail. So if you do 1 or 2 things wrong, you're immediately going to fail. So we're just going to sit back and pick up those pieces and hope we can capitalize and make some money off of it. There's my lovely wife checking in. So if y'all got questions about the IPO or different other companies, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Again, I didn't want to hold y'all time long. I do apologize for being late, but I did want to go over some of those things, y'all. I had the paper up, but I'm not sure I can get to it. Let me try it one more time because they did have the report, but it's once you sign in, you're able to get access to it. And let me see if I can sign in. If it'll let y'all see it, I'll add it to the screen. All right, let's see. I've already done my you have to go in and do a indication of interest so you can purchase it. I got the key dates, but I want y'all to be able to see. And if you sign in, you'll be able to see the information on SpaceX. And when I did my indication of interest, I could see, oh, there it is. I can see it. Okay. We're not gonna go too deep into these things, but I want y'all to be able to see this one form. Let me make sure I can see. So once you sign up to do your indication of interest, whatever it is, you can see the prospectus. So I want you, if you want to know about the company. This is like if you're in your white pages, you want to see this information. Yes, it is a lot. It's a couple. It's a quite a few pages. But one, if you don't like to read, you probably shouldn't be investing. That's just the first part. But if you don't like to read and it's giving you brief synopsis of the information, like the data is just right here. The things that you want to know about the company. We don't have to go to Google. We don't have to go. They're giving you the information here. It's small print, so most people are going to be like, "I don't want to read that. My eyes are already hurting." Take it. You can prompt it into AI if you want to. Take the pages. How many pages do they have in here? I thought it was going to let me see it on the side. We're at 172 right here. Uh, I thought it was going to tell me the total amount of pages, but you got a hell of a lot of pages. Let's go to the table of content. Here's all the information you're going to get here. Prospectus summary, risk factors, cautionary statements, use of proceeds, dividend policy, capitalization. This is where you go through a fine tooth comb and see if this shit is, sorry, stuff is legit or not. I have not gone through all of it because I didn't know I was going to get access to it when I clicked on it. But you have it here. If you have any questions about the trading, the legitimacy of the company and what it does, all of it's here. It's embedded. But what do they know? They know we're not going to read 282 pages. Nobody's going to read this. So take it into ChatGPT or turn it in and look at the different executive compensation. Who gets paid? These are the small things you need to know. Who the heck is Gwen Shotwell? Chief, the COO, the CFO, and Brett Johnson. Do y'all know who these people are? Do you know what they're gonna make? I do. I can see it here. But you're not gonna know if you don't ever go look at Mr. Musk's base salary, $54,000. We don't care about that. We want to know how many shares, how much equity he's gonna have. Base salary Shotwell, which is increased from 1.4 million, 1 1.04 million, 1.8 million effective August 20th. April 20th. Sorry, I read it as the 20th because that's my birthday. But again, you got base salaries in here, long-term incentive compensation. All of this stuff is embedded in here. You want to know who's liable, how many common shares, what's the float, how many class A, class C, how many classes of the stock is going to be available. This is all information. Invested shares. How long do they have to hold it before they can sell? All of these things is here. It's always right in front of us. Thank you for the lecture today, Professor Chaz. I'm curious about Walmart considering institutional rotation to risk off. Well, anytime we go to risk off, consumer defense is always the place to go. So let's just take a look at. Let's go to finviz.com and let's look at the bubble. Let's go to the map. When we're in high risk areas, we usually look to consumer defense. Where's my consumer defense? This doesn't. Uh, Communications, computer software. This isn't set up like it usually looks. I don't know why it looks like this is usually in my right corner. So I always take a look at consumer defense when it comes to risk on or risk off because these are your staples. People are always going to continue to buy necessary or necessity goods. So we always look for these to kind of stay afloat. And you will see red in other sectors. This is what I like to look. P&G. You can also look at healthcare. But Walmart, Costco, Target's taking a beating just over and over again, just due to their DEI initiatives and things like that, or lack thereof. So this is where you want to come to. You want to look where things are going. Look at how the sector looks on Friday and look and see who's still green. Anytime you have red and down days, go and look and see who's still green. Who's really still leading the market? Is it tech leading the market? Is it healthcare? Is it financials? This is your snapshot into where you want to be when the market's down. Definitely long on them. I'm always long on them. But since they've been over 100 and they're holding, Walmart is good. Let's look at the chart since you brought it up. Oh, what's my trading there? And if y'all have any others, we'll look at them as well after Walmart. Let me just switch my chart. And we're gonna clean it. We don't want anything on it, and we're gonna go up higher time frames. So look at that. Walmart's found some support. Again, I don't need all the indicators on right now. We got some support at 113, making our way back up. So we could definitely be looking at some 120, 125s and at a high of 134. But again, it's consumer staples. When the market is selling out, people still going to go hoard tissue. Gas prices high as a mug. They ain't buying extra gas. They buying more tissue, more toilet paper. I personally don't shop at Walmart that often. It is convenient, but as far as my meat and vegetables, I prefer local markets or better quality. Walmart just doesn't have the best quality to me, and it's just my opinion. Can I ask about SoFi? What are your views on the stock itself? SoFi has been one of it was my top one for the year, and but SoFi can be a little finicky. I'm still investing. Every time we get down to about $13, it's time to buy back up again because that's where we're finding some support at. That's where I initially you can see your kind of bell curve. We're back at buying zone, and this is where I bought before. I missed it back here, and I was like, dang, $8. And when I started looking, we were at 13. I think I got in at 1388, and I've just been DCAing, and now we're back down here, and we're in a little bit consolidation because we need to get out of this range. I really want us to get back above 20 and keep pumping. What I would suggest is making sure if you like SoFi, definitely listen to the earnings call. Any company that I'm invested in that I like, I start listening to their earnings call. SoFi earnings calls are actually fun and easy to listen to. Go into Earn More here on YouTube. Put that thing on 2x and you can listen to them. But any company you're investing in, make sure you're looking at their revenue. You can take a look in Yahoo Finance, look at their financials, their earnings. But I like what they do and what they provide and how they're not super risky. They're already attracting high end clients. So people who have student loans, they do mortgages, student loans. They're in the crypto space. Let me actually just pull them up and show you guys all that they do, which is really why I just like them. That's just all around. I'm actually, since I got my free money, I'm going to place my first trade on SoFi. I'm not sure if you guys know, but you can trade options on SoFi. So we have personal loans, investing, banking, private student loans, credit cards, credit score monitoring, mortgages, student loan refinancing, SoFi Plus, and crypto. I'm not sure where it's probably going to be under the investing, but yeah, you can trade options on here. What all of y'all gonna make me add? But multiple opportunities. But this is one that is not in a trend right now. So this is going to be a buying low, selling high if you're doing an investing, and then when you're just trading, you got to I could be bullish on them, or I could be um I like them as a company, but that does not mean I won't get puts on them. And a lot of people think, oh, if I'm invested in a company or I believe in the company, I can't short them. You're going to trade whatever you see when it comes to the company. If the company is selling off, there's nothing you can do about it but capitalize on it by purchasing puts. But I want to see them get back above 20. When they did the buy-in or the buyback, it was just horrible for them and they lost a lot of momentum. So they got to pick that back up, get investors rejuvenated in investing in them and showing that they are profitable. So SoFi is a medium term hold for you. Uh, it's still a long term hold for me as a DCA, but I will short it. I'll short everything though. So I have no loyalty to any companies in the market because I'm not a shareholder. I had CVS shares when invested in them, sold them when they were selling on. I have some shares in some private equity companies. If I needed to offset them too, I would. But the key thing is for the people who are thinking they need to get out of their 401ks and those are going to be bad. You need to have a plan. Don't just listen to random people about selling or getting out of your 401k. It is a vehicle, but you have to know how to operate it. And if you can do self-directed, some of those things, it can be ideal. But make sure you ask questions and understand what's going on with the portfolio. Any quick thoughts on Intel? We got a strong M pattern right here. I didn't mean to hit that. Strong M pattern here. Some support at 100. Incentive, a little bit of range. It probably can get back to 113, 118 to the upside. But if the market pulls back or takes a hit, you're going to see it kind of come back and test that 100 area. So I always like to look at the higher time frames. And then you also want to check for upgrades and downgrades. I see reports say Google ordered over 3 million Intel TPUs with production starting in 2028. That's beautiful and wonderful for guidance, but this won't get done until 2028. And y'all ordered, have they fulfilled that order? So I can send you an invoice and tell you my mentorship is $10,000, and I can tell you I've sent out a $3 million invoice for 20 people, but that doesn't take the value of my course if nobody's paid the invoice yet. Have they paid the invoice? Has Google paid the invoice? Are they going to see that revenue? Thank you so much. I also can't believe Ford heard me talking about it, and Ford said, "Hold my beer." Chaz is talking about me. I used to be her number one, and she gonna come back. But y'all see, I told you what goes up must come down. I wasn't gonna chase Ford up, but I was definitely prepared for those puts. It was easy to see because what I'll show y'all why Ford is trash and why I keep saying Ford is trash. And Ford has been trash for some years. Will I buy a Ford truck? Nope. I'm a Chevy girl. But a Ford F-150 or something like that, not bad. But Ford has poor management, and they have for years. And it's just come from them being bad investors and having bad CEOs that have not put forth the effort to resolve debt. So when you come here, all of this is free information because they are publicly traded. But you want to come over here to those financials. Then you want to come look at their cash flow. Dig deep into these people pockets. Like they be messing up people like food stamp applications. I be on these companies, but just like a food stamp application. Y'all gonna deny somebody food stamps. I'm gonna deny people trading y'all. We gonna short it. Because why? They're trash. Investing cash flow, negative. Financing cash flow, negative. Capital expenditure, negative. Repayment of debt, negative. Like, why? This is why I always say you bet not be investing, daggone Ford. Trade the heck out of it, but do not invest in this crap. Get you a good Ford truck. The resale value is amazing, but don't invest in this thing. I wouldn't hold this long term. But again, you got to know what to look for. And a lot of people don't teach this. This isn't the sexy part of trading. I'm not showing y'all how to make money of thousands of dollars. And I can see by the view count, nobody cares. And so this episode was pretty much for me and people who kind of think a little bit further. And I know that that's not the ideal thing for a lot of channels that want to pick up speed, but I'm okay with that. The people who needed to get this, they're actually going to get it and they're going to understand, and they're going to take a little bit more time to do a little bit more research. I always say the Ford CEO doesn't drive a Ford. He drives a Chinese EV. Wow, I did not know that. But that tells you a lot about a person on the companies that they trade in. Again, when y'all saw those CEOs going viral for taking a bite of their burger, did y'all see how big of a bite they took? Them folk don't eat that. They know it ain't real meat. They know this stuff not real meat. That's why they took this minuscule bite of a burger that they know is fake meat. And we can get on that too. You can look at agriculture and look at this worm thing that's supposed to be here in Texas. Why would they allow something to be infested in the cattle, which is number one meat supplier for Texas, to be harmed? Well, what are they pushing? What is uh, I'm not going to call any names, but what are these CEOs pushing? They want you to eat digital meat. They don't want you to grow anything. They want you to buy everything from the store. And when they don't have it in the store, you starve and you die or you get sick. So they're going to infest the cattle. So nobody wants to buy the cattle. So again, I've been hearing it on Erica Williams' show all the time. Find you a local producer. I have a egg farm in my backyard. I can literally walk out my back gate, walk down 2 houses and go knock on somebody's door and say, hey, can I buy some eggs? And I know where the eggs came from. I see the chicken outside. I can go up the road about 7 minutes and go buy some eggs over there. I see the eggs outside. I see the chickens. I know where they came from. I know where they're being produced. They're not run through a factory. They're not being sprayed. They're not being harmed. And they're pretty good, very tasty. So now I have a egg farm. I have a chicken supplier. Now you need a meat supplier. You need to be able to get your own meat, now, regardless of how expensive it is. If y'all, what's the song? If y'all can put money in a Goyard bag, and y'all can go to Tulum, and y'all can put everything on Apple Pay and Klarna, buy you some real meat. Find you some real meat. Go to a butcher. Find a butcher shop. Pay a little bit more to live a little bit longer. Buying local eggs would be more than a flex 10 years from now, man. Buying local eggs would be more than a flex. Having your own chickens is an even bigger flex. Like own something, and they brainwash us. They tell them own nothing, borrow, have credit, own nothing. I want to own some land. I want to be able to put whatever I want on it, whether it's a cow, whether it's horses, whether it's chickens, whether it's one thing that produces food for me. But I got to eat greens forever. I can produce something. Um, Also with I want everybody, if you own land or have a home, get you a rain barrel system if it's allowed in your county. I just looked up my county. I can give me a rain barrel system for $42. No, it's not free. Some areas do have them for free, but get it set up. If you can start catching water, filter your own water, have you a water purifier or a water tester, and life straw. Those are going to be great things because they've already told us it's going to be a shortage of water. They're telling us, and what are we doing? Eating up crab legs. We outside. It's hot girl summer. We are not paying attention. We're not preparing to have water. I have one, two, three. I probably should cut my camera on so I can see it. I have three 5 gallon um, of water. Why? Because there are three of us in my family. So if we need some in an emergency, everybody has their own 5 gallons of water to sustain um, at minimum right here. We have other gallons of water too, but water is going to be in high demand and it should be free. Those systems that are able to make a gallon of water out of air, you just sit it on your counter, they're probably going to run them folk out of business because they don't want to see that happen. They want you to pay for everything. Again, why are we paying for things that come out the ground, come out the sky, are managed by the earth? I shouldn't have to pay you for my water. Y'all didn't. Y'all, what did y'all do? Y'all paid for one filtering system to create a water system, and now it's just being managed. We don't got to pay that over and over again. But we got to think past that. And again, a lot of people are not just creative thinkers. They're not thinkers. It's just we're just gonna follow the crowd. The gate is open. Everybody is going one way through one gate, and they're not realizing that there's no fence. Everybody is just following the crowd. Everybody waiting their turn to go through the fence when go through the gate, and there's no fence. We could just walk through the other side. Nobody has to be cattle going through one way. So it's gonna take that small percentage of thinkers, to do better, to make changes. But again, it starts with one. I'll be one. The 10 people on here are the one, and hopefully they're the ones for their family. But again, I just come here to bring information, give you another opportunity to see things clear, and to be able to ask questions that you may not be able to ask somebody else who's been in the market and trading for a while. Man, if we had a stock on crab legs, man, the ocean. I mean, have y'all looked at the coral reef? Like we're eating up, we're blasting the ocean by cooling off AI systems, and we're just eating all the crustacean like it's all gone. All the shrimp, all the crab legs, we're just eating it all. But I hope y'all have enjoyed this. This has been very entertaining. Again, I just like when I have information and I think other people need to learn it, hear about it. I'm going to bring it to the channel because people don't know. And I like for, again, you all to take advantage of stuff for free. No one's trying to hand us anything. Others, I'm just going to call them others. Others are giving access to this by their last names. They're handed down this, and most of us are not. We are not silver spoon fed. We are not handed over portfolios. I was blessed to be passed down several things, but I do reach out and continue to educate myself and learn in this space because it's ever evolving. But this is like math and science. Eight, 1 plus 1 is still 2. You just have to know what to do with that information. So There's still 8 of us on here. I hope this has provided value for you guys. If you've enjoyed it, drop some sevens in the chat, and then we'll get out of here. If y'all don't have any other questions, I can get back to juicing. Again, that's why I was late. But I hope y'all enjoyed this show. If y'all have any other tickers or topics y'all want me to cover, I'll gladly entertain them. If anybody wants to come up, I always do this, but nobody ever joins. So I'll drop the invite link if anybody wants to join me on StreamYard. I'll give y'all about 5 minutes to take advantage of that. And if not, we'll call this a wrap. My Mother's Day special is there if you need a one-on-one with me. The Mother's Day special is $60 for those one-on-ones. So if you want to reach out to me, if you want to work with me one-on-one or have individualized questions, want to live trade together, or just need help with your trading altogether, scan that QR code. It'll take you to my link to get scheduled. Thank you so much. We definitely gonna crush the market this week. Today was a banger. I gotta actually go pull up my chart to go see how long I was actually in that trade. People don't think I was in it that long. I think I was in it for a little while. Absolutely. Thank you. MG is here. Thank you so much. I think you're new here, so welcome. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if this information was good to you, just share it out. Watch it again. It helps with the channel. It helps it push me out to the page so other people can see it. Because again, no one's really talking about that. They're gonna hype you up. Just buy SpaceX, buy SpaceX. We love Elon Musk, worship him, and go buy a Tesla. That's all they're gonna tell people. They're not gonna, take you to being able to see the data, to be able to see where you can read the information. You can understand where to get in there because people be saying, "Oh, you can go buy it on Cash App. Get your Cash App card, and you can buy you some SpaceX on Cash App." They're showing you what you have to have, what limitations you have on certain brokers. And nobody's gonna tell them that they ain't nobody with it. So let's see, we got 3 more minutes. I know the chat is a little delayed. So again, if you found value, drop those sevens. And we got 3 minutes, and then we'll get out of here. If y'all have any other questions, drop them in the comments. We're pushing on just shy of an hour, so that was still good timing. I know it's Monday night. You're probably watching shows or whatever. Come on. Oh, the game. That's it. Did I beat the game? Game comes on at what, 7:40, or is it on now? Let me see. That's why ain't nobody on here. Dang it, I should have did it tomorrow. But they'll be able to watch the replay. The game is on. The Spurs are up by 11 right now, coming to the end of the first quarter. Y'all drop in the chat. Y'all think this is going to go to game 4? Y'all think Spurs or the Knicks got it? Who y'all drop in the comments? Knicks or Spurs? Who's gonna take it tonight? And if you're in the predictions market, I hope y'all betting on it. I bet on it a couple of times, but I'm surprised that San Antonio gave up yesterday or their home game. So I'm a little shocked. I didn't want to be too biased by just going Knicks, 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 but they might sweep it. But I think as a monetary standpoint, the Spurs win tonight, and they might try to. But I just look at it from a monetary standpoint. They want to kind of string it out to get some money, but let's see if the Knicks just clear it on out. Oh, okay. So I think Knicks gonna take it tonight. What y'all think? Knicks take it tonight, or will Spurs hold them up? What do y'all think? Who else? I think the Knicks gonna take it tonight. I've seen some tickets get sold, went from 4K to like I think 16,000. Those game prices were crazy. I think that's it. Y'all kind of quiet on me now. So but that's it. We don't want too much dead air. Again, if you like the post, share it out. We do have posts on here. So on the YouTube channel, if y'all have anything and y'all haven't met with me, their trades and opportunities, post them on the wall. I definitely comment and get back to you guys. If you're catching this on the replay, definitely comment replay and let me know where you're checking in from. I love to see how much reach this gets. So I appreciate you all for being here. Y'all got some value from information. I might have to take this back down because again, people didn't show up, but I understand the game was on. My timing was bad, but I had a couple of classes to do. But I appreciate everybody who showed up in real time. Your commitment to the channel is does not go unseen. So I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good night.